Welkom terug by die Groot Ontbyt. Ons gesels môre met Devan Moonsamy. Hy is van ICHAF Training Institute en ons gesels môre oor kunsmatige intelligensie in Suid-Afrika se korporatiewe wêreld. Is ons reg daarvoor of nie? Good morning, Devan.
A very good morning to you.
It's lovely having you on the show this morning. We have to talk about AI in South Africa, specifically when it comes to the corporate and to the commercial industry in South Africa and companies. Are we ready for AI? Because let's face it, AI has been taking leaps and bounds in other countries. But in South Africa, we feel like maybe it's because we are very, not afraid, but very picky to use AI in certain circumstances. Do you think in South Africa we are falling behind? Are we ready for AI?
No, we're not completely ready for AI simply because a lot of organizations still haven't developed an AI strategy. There aren't robust discussions taking place in many organizations around the implementation of AI tools. And there appears to be some policies around the use of AI and the ban of AI in some cases. So I would say the short answer is no. Some companies are simply not equipped yet to be able to deal with AI in their businesses.
It's interesting when you read the statistics, it says worldwide it's about 77% of companies that are looking at using AI or exploring it. In South Africa, we're down to like 30%. And that's really quite a discrepancy between worldwide and where we're at. And I think in South Africa or across the world, the biggest thing people want to know is, am I going to lose my job because of AI? What would you say the answer is to that?
And this is the fact. It's not just a local thinking, it's a global thinking. Lots of people believe that AI will replace human workers, and this might even lead to unemployment. We need to remember that AI actually complements creativity and thinking amongst human people. 8 billion people in the world are just not going to disappear as a result of AI being implemented in our spaces and organizations. What we need to understand is that we've got to now shift our thinking and our mindset in that we've got to be working with these tools, similar to how we've introduced decades ago emails and computers and the internet and all those other fantastic tools that so many organizations have brought out. And it enhanced creativity and it complemented our staff and our people in organizations as opposed to making them redundant.
I think one has to look at it as a tool. You refer to it. It is a tool. It is not an entity on its own. It is a tool to be used like a knife. If you know how to use it properly and safely, it can add value to your life as opposed to being a danger to it. In South Africa, people still need to find the way of working with AI. You get the feeling that people are very hesitant because they don't know what the perfect way is. Where do we go to find out what that is? How do we get that information?
Yeah, you see, regulation and legal uncertainty is one aspect that there's a level of anxiety around implementing this in corporate. So lack of knowledge and lack of understanding, and you hit the nail on the head. You're saying, where do we go? Where do we find it? Generally, people are reluctant and scared to be able to delve and to talk about it. Some people are even afraid to openly admit that they use AI as an editing tool for emails, something as simplistic as that. When we break the barrier around communicating openly around the use of AI in corporate, that we'll notice already a shift in the way in which we think. It then opens the window to an opportunity for the development of an AI strategy. Then we understand that there shouldn't be data and privacy and security risks associated with the use of AI if we use it responsibly. So what organizations and HR departments need to do is they need to now re-look at the AI strategy within their businesses and tailor-make it and use those strategies to complement their resources, their human resources, and introduce it to the people in the business. And once there's these conversations that are taking place and people are allowed to ask questions, then we headed in the right direction because people are using it under the radar. They're just not telling you that they're using it to create PowerPoint presentations, to edit documents, to create videos and other content, doing amazing delivery in boardrooms. And people are going, oh, wow, did you do that? Actually, many of them had used AI to help create those wonderful presentations.
And I think many people are using AI and they don't even realize that they're using AI.
Spell check.
It's, you know, and people go, no, no, we're so scared or we don't want to use it, we'll never use it, but you're kind of already using it. So it really is important. What kind of jobs can AI create in South Africa?
Now, you see, the stat is alarming, and I think you would have probably heard about it. Many jobs would be replaced, and they're saying, according to a Dell survey, they're saying that 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't even been invented yet. Now, we think about data analysis, we think about productivity, making things simpler and faster. I can use a simple example around renting a vehicle. We sometimes go, we book online, we will go to the kiosk, and then somebody gives us a car key when we get to the destination after we've flown wherever we've gone to. And then we engaging with a person, and then off you go and you find your car in the parking lot and you drive off. Try and imagine getting your booking online through an app or whatever the case is, going to a kiosk where there's nobody, just swiping your credit card onto the side of a machine and the key popping out. Now, that would then replace a person who's actually physically helping you in that instance. Okay, check out at a supermarket as an example as well, where your products are then weighed and then off you go. So now, if we look at that type of replacement, remember, there should be people who are still monitoring, people who are still assessing, because machines can't function without human capabilities. So people become one-tracked in their thinking and go, oh, well, this is now how AI is going to take over my position, so I'm redundant, there's no space for me. There's a massive back-end system that requires a pool of individuals to feed information, to make sure the keys are in place, to make sure that the groceries are relevantly packed, that the systems are functioning effectively. So there's a common misconception. So jobs such as those ones may potentially be replaced. Bookkeepers, cashiers, people who are editing online. So most of those careers we're looking at possibly shifting in terms of the use of AI technology. But that means that there will be a large space of development in terms of job creation, where people now need to be looking at alternatives in study fields. Young people now need to be looking at areas that they can now reacquaint themselves or familiarize themselves in those areas so they can get jobs.
Alternatives, that's interesting to hear that. And new ways of approaching things. It's staggering to think that in 2030, 5 years from now, 85% of the jobs they don't even exist now. That'll be here in 2030. Thank you so much, Devan, for this quick little chat about AI. And I think a takeaway from it is I think being scared of AI is not going to help you. But working with AI, is probably the answer. And I'm old school, but thank you very much for waking me up to that absolute possibility and reality. Thank you very much. Devan Moonsamy, hy is van die ICHAF Training Institute. Om bietjie met ons gesels oor kunsmatige intelligensie.